What's up everybody, this is Grant again from Thunder Laser USA, and I'm doing another vlog style video for you guys. Today I'll be doing a Kobalt toolbox engrave. This is not the color I wanted, but it's the color I got. So let's run through it and see what we can learn. Today I'll be using the Bolt Plus 24. Really all of our machines can do this. Bolt, Titan, Nova Plus, Aurora, they all can engrave this, but I'm choosing this one because it's our new one and I want to show it off. So Bolt Plus 24, 60 watt, RF. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is to have some materials close to you for cleaning and prepping the project. What I've got for me is LA Awesome, isopropyl alcohol, magic eraser, cloth, and wipes. Outside of the cleaning supplies, a few other things that I'm using today are the 4-inch lens. Now you could use the stock 2.5. I've just found that the 4-inch tends to do better on these coated materials. Also, you'll need to use LightBurn and have your graphic prepared to engrave on top of the toolbox. Now that we've got all that covered, let's jump into testing. So I've never done this toolbox before, especially of this color. So anytime you're doing something new, it's best to test it out so that you get the best result possible. So what I'm gonna jump into is doing a material test card, and that's something that you can do within LightBurn. So I'm gonna walk you through how I'm gonna set this up and send it to the machine. All right, so to set up a material test card, I'm gonna go to Laser Tools, and then Material Test. All right, now I have a pretty good idea on what settings will work here. So I don't need a huge test card. I'm gonna narrow it down to a few different settings. So I'm gonna go 5 count for the vertical rows and then 5 count on the horizontal rows. That's just how many squares it's gonna output when I test it. And for the speed, I'm gonna go 400 to 600. And for the power, I'm gonna go 40 to 60. Again, I have a pretty good idea what will work, but just trying to dial it in perfect. Okay, so I'm running at a 0.06 line interval, bidirectional fill on, and then air off. This is our material settings. So this is what is good. Anything that's not listed in the test in this section, so speed and power, everything outside of speed and power will pull from this. So you have to make sure this is set up the way that you want. And then my text setting, that's gonna be a score. So I'm gonna go a little bit faster. This isn't so important. It's just gonna mark what speeds are on the left and then what power's on the right, or vice versa. All right. So we got that set up. For the speed, we're going 400 to 600. For the power, we're going 40 to 60. And now I'm going to send it over to the machine. Yes. Wait for the beep. There it goes. Now we go to the machine. All right, so at the machine, I'm gonna lay this down in my bed so that I don't scratch up the toolbox when I turn it upside down. And I'm turning it upside down so that I don't do my tests on the outside where anybody would see it. So I'm turning it upside down, and I'm also gonna put it on the underside of the drawer. All right. Let's get that fairly straight. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm gonna put the laser head over the material, hit origin and autofocus. Okay. Now I'm going to frame to show me exactly where this test is gonna go. All right. Okay, so our test is done. This is what we got, but now we need to clean it a little bit with the LA Awesome and Magic Eraser to see what this really looks like. So a little bit of LA Awesome. Honestly, it's best to let it soak for a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of time here with this video, so I'm just gonna quickly wipe it off. So the reason for doing the test is to just see how each speed and power really impacts the material. So I don't foresee these settings here being vastly different from each other, but this is more or less just to show you guys the process. Looking at it, they are all very, very similar. I'm gonna go 550 millimeters a second at 55% power. All right, so I'm going to import my design. It's going to be here, here, here. Well, the laser toolbox for scroll work. Shout out to Julia for making this file for me. So this is what we're working with. It's just something that we threw together from ChatGPT. So I'll make it 5 3/4. So it's going to be a little smaller than the whole top of the toolbox, but I think that'll come out looking just fine. All right, so now I got to get my settings dialed in. We said 550 millimeters a second, 55% power for the max and min. And then the rest of that is just how we had it before, with low air and basically 420 DPI. Making sure my frequency is set correctly to 20. And we are good. One thing I forgot to mention is I would definitely set your user origin to the center. It's easiest to get to the center point of the toolbox and then frame from there as opposed to going to the top left-hand corner. Since my file isn't a perfect rectangle, that's the exact size of the toolbox, center is always your best bet. Alrighty, to piggy off, well, I still didn't say it right. To piggyback off of the user origin, the reason why I said center is because I'm going to measure where the center point is. So this is 10 3/4 inches wide, so it's about 5 3/8, 6 inches. So that's a lot easier to find out. It's 3. There's my center point right there. So I can put my red dot in that spot and know that I'll be in the center of the toolbox. All right, so we got that placed in there. I'm gonna drop the bed down so that I have enough clearance to be able to engrave it. You'll see a lot of people engraving pretty much every part of the toolbox possible, which 100% you can do that. You can do the top, you can do inside of it, you can do the walls. For this, I'm just gonna show you how to do the top, but it's the same sort of process throughout the rest of the toolbox. And I'm looking at the honeycomb bed as my guide for having it as square as I can get it to the gantry. I'm eyeballing it. If I was to actually make this to sell to somebody, I might use a jig to get it lined up or scoot it all the way over to the edge or something like that. Okay, now I'm going to autofocus since we have our origin selected in the center of the toolbox. And now we can run it. So I actually just made a mistake. If you come look, the engrave started with the E, which means that it's going to engrave every little piece of this individually and take way longer than it should. Somebody must have been doing a project where using fill groups together was better for them, but I just need it to be fill all shapes at once. And the reason why, if I hit a preview on this, it's going to take 21 minutes. And then if I change it to fill groups at once, 18 minutes, so it's faster this way. So now I'm going to resend it the correct way. This is a good nugget for you guys to pay attention to those settings. Don't overlook it. And we're going to try this again. So with these settings that I chose, it was based off that material test card, and honestly, I could probably go way faster than this and use more power. But not everything I do is for the fastest result, it's for the best result. So if you want to go faster, you can broaden your material test card so that you're testing higher speeds, higher power. But this is the sweet spot for me and for this project. And also, I'm not looking to get this out super fast. So you guys that are running full production shops, you may use faster settings so that it doesn't take quite as long. This is projected to take around 15 to 20 minutes. It's best to let the LA Awesome soak for a little while before you scrub it, because it will really help make the engraving pop more. It'll be more shiny. For the sake of time today in this video, I'm not going to wait, so it's not going to be as shiny as it could be. But for you guys that are going to be selling this product, let it soak in some LA Awesome or some Dawn Power Wash, or Dawn's dish soap or isopropyl alcohol, whatever you're using to clean it. Let it soak in that for a little bit before you start scrubbing it. All right, so that's after a little bit of cleaning with LA Awesome and Magic Eraser. I'd say overall, this came out pretty good for not doing this before. Even my mistake that I made where it engraved the E twice, you can't tell that that messed up at all. This is a project that I would happily do again. I hope this has been helpful. Those settings will work pretty good for any machine that's around 60 watts, so make sure you download those and save them. Comment your ideas below for what we should do next on a Grant vlog. I hope this has been helpful. Follow us for more tutorials, and if you're interested in learning more about the Bolt Plus 24, give us a call or send us an email with the information below.